I want to work with interceptive orthodontics. Professor, I know the importance, but I don't have patience. Calm down for now in this video, because in this video I'm going to teach you 5 foolproof actions so you can increase the number of patients, children, in your practice. So watch until the end, because I have messages here that will enhance the number of child patients in your practice. In a short time, you will be a great reference. I believe this is one of the most practical videos I've ever made. Stay until the end. Welcome, my loves. Welcome to another video on this channel. Today's video is one where I will even leave some gifts, complimentary things for those who want to increase the number of child patients in their practice who truly want to have many interceptive orthodontics patients to make a living from interceptive orthodontics, because it is a part of dentistry that is not widely explored. There are very few professionals who treat these patients, and statistics show that more than 70% of patients have some need for interceptive treatment. What happens is that there are many people who say there are no child patients. Why? Because parents are still not aware of the treatments. Because many times you try to bring in a patient and they think it's better to treat later. But in this video, I am going to bring strategies to attract more patients to your practice. And that way, you can grow this part of your practice. Take advantage of being here. Go ahead and leave a like on the video. Also, send this video to other friends who also want to know about these strategies, and activate notifications so you can receive notifications of the next videos we will have here on YouTube, okay? Well, the first tip will be 5 tips, 5 actions. The first action, if you are not doing it yet, is that the first action you need to show people that you are treating, so you want to start treating patients for interceptable orthodontics. And I always say that when you go to an airport or even a doctor's waiting room, in the past we had little things for notebooks and everything else. Nowadays, it's all about cell phones. If you are not on social media today, you are missing out a lot on being able to showcase your work. So the first action here will be to post content on your social media about interceptive orthodontics.
Oh, Professor Y, but I'm embarrassed.
My dear, I'm embarrassed too. Do you think I wasn't embarrassed when I started? So I've always been embarrassed. So now that I know a little more about content and everything, I'm going to give you a bit of these tips. One of the ways you can start, even if you say, Professor, I'm embarrassed to record videos, no problem. You can use images, you can use graphics with the content you want. So take advantage of this. You can create some informative topics for your patients. So there are some key questions that you can use to create this content on your social media. For example, which malocclusions are treated? You can mention that we treat transverse malocclusions, we treat sagittal and vertical malocclusions. So it involves transverse problems like posterior crossbite, it involves open bite, in some cases deep bite, class 2, class 3. Another question, do habits influence dentition? So, my child, my son, sucks on a pacifier. Will that influence dentition? The habit of non-nutritive sucking, which is the Thelmore pacifier, if abandoned by the age of 5, there is a potential for self-correction of up to 50%. So, if the habit is abandoned, it is possible for the stomatognathix system itself to correct the occlusion without needing direct interceptive treatment or even without needing appliances. But an appointment is necessary with the doctor to assess the need. So, What is the answer when a parent asks if they need to take their child to the orthodontist, to the dentist, after using sucking habits or pacifier? I don't know how it's called in your country. It is necessary to take them for an evaluation, but if the habit is abandoned before the age of 5, the chance of self-correction is high. Another question you can always ask is, my child went through a trauma, what can happen? It's a common question from parents. We know that anomalies in the formation of the permanent tooth can occur, as well as eruption anomalies. This tooth can become stuck. You might even need to perform traction on this incisor with different biomechanical strategies, such as interceptive orthodontics, with fixed appliances or removable appliances, but it is necessary to treat. So, you see how many points parents often don't know, and that you can inform them about through social media so they can bring their children to your practice. So, the first thing is to start posting on social media. In this, you have two options. You can hire an agency, which will require an investment that I assure you is worth it depending on the quality of the agency, because you will send the posts and they will create and publish them on your social media. Or if you want to start right now, go to thecanva.com and you can go into design and enter dentist, interceptive orthodontics, and several templates will appear where you can change them with your information and start posting on social media. I kindly ask that after you enter, you start posting my tag. On my social media, here I will leave my Instagram so you can tag me once you start posting, okay? You can start organically without paying anything on social media, and once you progress, you can pay for advertising to reach more people with your post, but that would be a second step. The first thing is to start. And whenever they ask me, Professor, should I start on my personal social media or open a new professional one? I always suggest that you start with your personal accounts, because later, you won't have time to manage 2 social media accounts. So it's better to do it on your personal account and then switch everything to professional. I myself post some personal things on my professional social media, but most of the content is professional, right? You already start with followers because your close friends and family are often the people who will become your patients. Second point, start spreading this information among your adult patients. If one of your patients comes in corrective orthodontics, you will ask them, look, do you have children? Did you know that the first appointment for a child with an orthodontist or a dentist is from the age of 5, where we could already identify different malocclusions, both in tooth eruption and facial growth, and we can prevent a sequence of problems that may occur. So, when I talk about you starting to speak with your adult patients, it's to everyone. Even if the patient comes in for a cleaning, you will start spreading the word, talking about interceptive orthodontics, because it might be that this person needs it. Sometimes her child already has issues with their mouth. Sometimes a tooth is bothering the child. So it's necessary to talk about our work, talk about the difficult part of not treating. So you will always inform in the sense of, look, did you know that we can treat some malocclusions, like for example class 3, which is a treatment we do now in childhood, but if I don't do it, I could only fix the case with surgery. So this is something that can also change the mindset of this parent. So start with number 2, talking about the consequences of not treating, and also the possibilities of treating all the patients that come to your practice. Our action number 3 is one of the most interesting ones that I want to help you implement in your practice. So, when the patient is in the waiting room, they are often on Instagram doing something personal or work-related, but they are also attentive to any paper you place near them. So, what is tip number 3 that worked a lot for me in my case, which I started leaving in my patient's waiting room? I created a brochure, a manual where I informed adult patients about the situations in which a child should be treated. So there were all the designs of malocclusions showing what should be treated, at what age it should be treated, which exams we requested, and also the process of doing the treatment, what is the average duration of the benefits, also the aesthetic part, the smile, the quality of life, the breathing, so everything that changes, including the way the child starts to face school life. Sometimes the parent doesn't proceed with the treatment because they are unaware of the benefits. Sometimes they are taking the child to a psychologist because the child suffers from bullying, the child is not doing well in school, and what will also improve is the intraoral part. I made this brochure in my clinic, and it started to attract attention because my own secretary helped distribute this brochure to them so they could learn more about interceptive treatments. So it's also something physical that you can give to the patients. A fourth point that also grabs a lot of attention from the patients is for you to prepare your consultation in a very gentle way to welcome these children. So the first thing I recommend is that you have some inexpensive toys that cost very little, but have some small toys for the child to cooperate during the consultation, which you can give to the child. So this toy will often cost you much less than $1. You can buy them on AliExpress or other Chinese websites, and that way you can buy these toys and give them when the child cooperates. I have in my consultation space these toys, and when the child cooperates, they can choose one, then they really want to come back to the consultation. So I have fewer problems with absences, and it creates a kind of word of mouth among their little friends, which brings in more patients. So I'm also going to leave a link here with some examples of toys that I have in the consultation, so that you can also buy and have these toys in your consultation. And if you have space in your office, set up a table so they can color some designs. Ask your secretary to leave a folder with some printed designs and colored pencils. This will help create a nice environment so that these children enjoy going to the appointment. So it also creates whoever is in the waiting room is always seeing that I have children in the office, and they already know that I treat them, so I don't even need to say it. See here, one moment I'm talking, another moment the brochure speaks, and another moment the child themselves shows other patients that I treat children. So that also helps a lot in spreading the word. And finally, but not least, I highly recommend that you study interceptive orthodontics in depth. Many think that interceptive orthodontics is just for removable appliances. It's just a little plate. Honestly, my dears, the latest experiences I've had in the last 5 years of interceptive orthodontics, with all the experience I've already had in research, I see that we can rely less and less on removable appliances because mothers are working and we have fewer opportunities to count on the cooperation of the patients. So it's important to learn not only about removable appliances, which are a small part of the treatments we do, but also about mechanical orthopedic appliances, fixed appliances, where you don't need the cooperation of these patients. Interceptive orthodontics has its different stages. We have to study the entire growth aspect of the patient, the functional part, but also the dental eruption part. We have to study all malocclusions in detail to know which appliance I am going to recommend and how to manage this appliance, for how long, and what the retention protocol will be. Choose a good study program so that you can have a solid foundation. Just yesterday, a patient came to me for a consultation, a patient with a growth pattern 3. This patient started treatment at 9 years old, and she had the opportunity to undergo interceptive treatment and was fitted with braces. Now, she no longer has growth because I did the carpal x-ray, the hand x-ray. She no longer has any growth and will have to go for orthognathic surgery because she came to me at 13 years old. See that there are many patients who need you, and I await you in this great movement, which is the movement of not having to wait. Many of you already know I coordinated a diploma in interceptive orthodontics, which is the
Interceptive Course,
and it has already graduated more than 3,000 students with a method that works, a method of doctors who are out there all over the world. In Latin America, Central America, Europe, the United States, Asia, there are doctors who graduated and are certified by the Interceptive method. If you wish to receive information about the next group, because at this moment we are not open for enrollment, but you can register on the waiting list. And as soon as we have more information, you will be notified by our team. I will leave the waiting list here, okay? I hope you all enjoyed this video a lot. It was a lot of stuff, practical to put into action. I hope you take action too. Send me a message on social media, leave a comment here about what you liked most about this video. If you also have other references or suggestions, I would like to read them. Leave a comment here, give a like if you haven't done so yet, and don't forget to share with your classmates, friends, and colleagues, okay? See you in the next video. Thank you very much for being here with me until the end. Bye.